The Zathresh Empire had ruled the Orion Arm for 3 millennia, their crystalline ships casting shadows across 1,000 conquered worlds. They had long forgotten the primitive species they had eradicated from the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Earth was now a monument to their power, a barren husk of glass and ash displayed proudly in their historical archives as their first conquest. Commander Elena Vasquez stood on the bridge of the Remembrance, her eyes fixed on the blue hologram of Earth as it once was. Around her, the fleet materialized from quantum slipspace, 3,000 warships emerging like ghosts from humanity's past. Each vessel bore the names of lost cities: Mumbai, Lagos, Tokyo, New York, Cairo. Each crew descended from the 2 million refugees who had escaped in 17 colony ships, watching helplessly as their homeworld burned. "All ships report ready, Commander," Lieutenant Chen announced, his voice steady despite the weight of this moment. Elena's jaw tightened. 3,000 years. 97 generations raised on the stories of Earth's beauty, trained for this single purpose. The Zathresh thought humans extinct, a footnote in their empire's glorious history. They were about to learn otherwise. "Begin Operation Homecoming," Elena commanded. The human fleet didn't broadcast warnings or demands. There would be no negotiation, no mercy. The Zathresh had given Earth none. The first wave struck the Zathresh border stations with precision that shocked the alien defenders. Human weapons technology had evolved in isolation, driven by singular focus. Quantum disruptors tore through crystalline hulls designed to deflect conventional energy weapons. Nano-warheads dissolved entire stations into constituent atoms. In 17 minutes, the outer defenses ceased to exist. Admiral Kaiseth of the Zathresh Defense Fleet watched the sensor data with growing horror. The attacking ships used no known technology. Their tactics were incomprehensible, aggressive beyond reason, accepting casualties that no civilized species would tolerate. His fleet of 2,000 ships moved to intercept, confident in their numerical advantage and superior firepower that had crushed countless rebellions. They were obliterated in 43 minutes. Human ships fought like cornered animals, except these animals had been planning, preparing, and training for 3,000 years. Every battle simulation had been run millions of times. Every Zathresh weakness documented and exploited. The humans knew their enemy better than the Zathresh knew themselves. As the fleet drove deeper into Zathresh space, Elena watched the tactical display with cold satisfaction. Each destroyed station, each shattered fleet, each panicking colony brought them closer to the heart of the Empire. The Zathresh were learning what humanity had always known. An enemy with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous enemy of all. The Zathresh High Council convened an emergency session on their capital world, Zathinos Prime. For the first time in millennia, fear touched their collective consciousness. The historical records were retrieved, dusty files from an ancient conquest. Earth, humans, a species destroyed before achieving interstellar capability. "Impossible," Council Prime Zarketh hissed, his crystalline exoskeleton flickering with agitation. "We burned their world. We tracked every escape vessel. None survived beyond 50 years. But the evidence screamed otherwise. These attackers used quantum mathematics that wouldn't be discovered for another millennium. They employed biological adaptations that suggested extensive genetic engineering. Most terrifying, they possessed something the Zathresh had never encountered: the coordinated fury of an entire species united in purpose across 100 generations. Elena's fleet reached the Zathresh core worlds within 2 months. Every inhabited planet received the same message, broadcast in the Zathresh language on every frequency. "We are humanity. You destroyed our home. You murdered 10 billion souls. For 3,000 years we have waited. We have prepared. We have remembered. Today the debt is paid." The Zathresh military, vast and powerful, fought with increasing desperation. They threw everything at the human armada: antimatter weapons, gravity bombs, reality-warping singularity generators. The humans absorbed losses that would have broken any other species and kept coming. For every human ship destroyed, 2 more took its position. On the 107th day of the campaign, Elena's fleet entered orbit around Zathinos Prime. The once mighty capital world lay defenseless, its orbital stations debris, its fleet scattered atoms. The High Council transmitted a desperate plea for mercy, offering reparations, territory, technology, anything to stop the inevitable. Elena listened to their transmission in silence, then opened a channel. When Earth burned, did you show mercy to our children? When our cities turned to glass, did you hear our pleas? Her voice carried the weight of 3,000 years. You taught us that in this universe the strong devour the weak. We are grateful for that lesson. But Elena didn't give the order to fire. Instead, she transmitted coordinates to the Zathresh Council, coordinates to Earth. You will rebuild it, she said. Every city, every forest, every ocean. Your empire will dedicate itself to restoring what you destroyed. Your children's children will labor to resurrect Earth. And when it is complete, perhaps humanity will show you the mercy you never showed us. The Zathresh Empire, which had stood for 10,000 years, fell in 123 days. Not destroyed but transformed. Enslaved to an act of creation rather than conquest, the surviving Zathresh would spend the next millennium terraforming Earth, guided by human overseers who never forgot, never forgave, but chose a vengeance more terrible than extinction. As Elena watched the first Zathresh construction vessels descend toward dead Earth, she thought of her ancestors who had fled into the dark, carrying nothing but memories and rage. They had planted a seed that took 3,000 years to bloom. Now that seed had borne fruit, bitter and absolute. Humanity had learned patience. They had learned to plan across centuries. Most importantly, they had learned that some debts transcend time itself. The Zathresh had taught them that the universe belonged to the ruthless. Now they would learn that humanity could be the most ruthless of all. Ruthless enough to deny themselves the satisfaction of destruction in favor of eternal reminder of their enemy's crime. Earth would live again, and every Zathresh alive would know they existed only because humanity chose mercy over extinction. That, Elena reflected, was the perfect revenge.